Hey everyone, Farrah Prudence here. I'm gonna wait a couple of minutes so that people can get logged on here. Say hi in the comments, so I know that you're there. Hey Beverly. Oh, I just finished work and we are headed to Bible study. We are in the book of Acts, chapter 8. So, hey Sharon. Today we are going to talk about, hey Deb. Alright, so today I want to talk about Afghanistan. And like the title says, Afghanistan, Trump, and the Obama 3.0 legacy. Earlier, when there were elections, when Biden got into the White House, regardless of how he got into the White House, I spoke about the legacy of Obama and how the Biden presidency is only going to be an Obama 3.0 presidency. I also talked about, for those who do not remember, I talked about the legacy of Trump and how these liberal voters feel that they have the moral superiority for putting in Biden, who was part of an administration who spilled blood all over the Middle East and North Africa, who shook regimes who by no means were saintly, but these regimes at the very least were the devil we knew, at the very least held the Muslim Brotherhood under control. Like the Egyptian Hosni Mubarak, like Al-Assad in Syria. Not saints, tyrants, but we knew what they were doing and they were keeping the bigger evil under control. Now we have troops pulling out of Afghanistan at the speed of light. We have Afghans holding on to airplanes trying to get out of Afghanistan, rightly so, because they know what's coming. This pullout, Biden knew, and if he didn't know because he's too senile, the people pulling his strings, the Democrat Party knew exactly what would happen when they pulled out. I knew. Anybody with half a brain and a quarter of a conscience wouldn't have made that decision. Because America, like it or not, love it or not, believe it or not, American troops are actually the bulwark between good and evil. American troops in Afghanistan were the only thing holding the Taliban under their feet, barely, after what Obama did in order to hold their hands and have them not win a war. Why am I so upset? I'm going to tell you why I'm so upset. Because this already happened at my country of origin. This already happened in the region where I came from, where Christians, Yazidis, Jews are to this day still being exterminated because Obama armed Muslim terrorists. Because Obama decided to go in there and destroy governments that had terrorists under control. Because to this day, there are slave markets in places like Libya, where there haven't been slave markets for a long time now. This was the legacy of the Obama-Biden administration. Do me a favor right now, please. Share this video so more people can see this. The legacy of the Obama-Biden administration is a bloodbath. It's the Arab Spring, they called it. They were right. It was the Arab Spring of blood. People who lived in relative peace, I'm talking about the minorities, the Christians, the Yazidis, the Jews, the atheists, the seculars, lived in relative peace, are now, to this day, still hunted and killed. Now, let's talk about what the liberal left is bringing up and saying, oh, people are realizing that this looks bad. Let's blame it all on Trump and the peace treaty that he put in with the Taliban in February, I believe, of last year. Go back to my page and you'll find a link to that treaty, which, by the way, is written in quite simple English. If you look at that treaty, That treaty had a lot of stipulations. A lot of stipulations. And you know what? I know what Trump was doing. I know what Trump was doing. He was giving them what they wanted, but he said, hey, this is what you have to do, knowing that they're not going to abide by it, because he wasn't stupid. He's not stupid. Like I've said a million times before, Trump was not my first pick, just in case you think I'm like one of those that you dub the crazy Trump people. He wasn't my first pick. I like Ben Carson. I like Ted Cruz. But no, he was not my first pick. But you know them by their fruit. The Trump administration managed to get peace treaties between two peoples who have been killing each other for 1,400 years. Ever since Muhammad became a prophet. And he started his wars in Medina after he immigrated. He was targeting the Jews. So it's been over 1,400 years of this happening. And what is Trump's legacy? His greatest achievement? Some people think it's moving the embassy to Jerusalem. Some people think it was the economic boom that we went through. As far as me, I am about peace. Okay? I want true peace. Not peace at all costs. I don't believe in that. I believe in liberty at all costs. True peace was Trump going into the Middle East and saying, two Islamic countries who have been funding terrorism ever since they struck oil in that land, he said, we're not going to give you an ounce and you're going to sign a peace treaty with Israel. They said, okay. That's what they said. The Abraham Accords, peace treaties that are miracles. Miracles. But the morally superior left put Biden in office after thousands upon thousands of people who look like me and speak my language and who are Christians and Yazidis and minorities, because they're the minorities party, right? No, they put Biden back in office. And what are they doing? They're blaming it on Trump, whose legacy is completely contradictory to the Obama-Biden legacy. And then they want to tell us that they're the morally superior party. This is all on Trump. Trump, some of the stipulations in the peace treaty, please go and read it and share this video. Some of the stipulations in the peace treaty said that there will be negotiations and no inner fighting. No military takeover in the inner Afghanistan parties. That's not what happened. Now, the minute they tried to break that treaty, they've already broken that treaty. Biden and his party are saying this is Trump's fault because of the treaty. The treaty says that if they break it, we will not withdraw. But I'll tell you what, the morally superior left is not concerned about the lives of minorities. They're not concerned about peace. They're concerned about choosing genders and contemplating their navels, sitting on their butts so that other hardworking Americans can pay for their education in feminist history, in gender studies. Somebody told me there's like a course on Beyonce now in college. It is despicable. It is repulsive. And if you're a Christian, and these are the people that I can talk to, if you're a Christian, you will answer one day if you put Biden in office and if we don't start to speak up and say, no more blood on our hands. It was Americans, it was us, who armed the Taliban in the first place. We were the ones who armed the Taliban in the first place in order to get rid of the Soviets. That was our first mistake. We should have known that they were an evil. They weren't a lesser evil. They have a doctrine that tells them to kill everybody. Because why? Because they don't have Jesus in their hearts. That's why. Because they come from a legacy of bloodshed. Everybody else in the world is trying to move forward. The only people who want to go backwards are those who describe themselves as Muslims. They want the Islamic Empire to come back. They want to go back 1,300, 1,400 years. So these are the people we armed. Then we got back in there. Now we have little girls going to school. Now apparently we decided we're just going to pull out. Do you know what's going to happen to the Christians and to the little Muslim girls who want to go to school? Acid attacks. Exterminations. And it's all blood on our hands. So before they go blaming Trump, the man whose fruits were peace, they need to look at Biden, which his fruits from his entire political career and his actual, child that's still alive right now, Hunter Biden, is rotten. His fruits are rotten. And that's what tells me that this move by him, he knew exactly what he was doing. He knew exactly what the repercussions were going to be. He says that he's bound by the treaty that Trump put in. Let's just say that the treaty was rotten. Well, he's pretty much reversing everything that Trump did with Iran. Why doesn't he do that to Afghanistan? The Democrat Party and the liberals in this country need to stop trying to lie and cover up. Let's just level with each other. Okay? I'm going to tell you, I want to own all of the arms that I want to. All of the firearms that I want to. I don't think the government should limit it. Period. I don't want any abortion in this country. I want peace in the world. I want liberty at any cost. Not peace at any cost. So level with me, liberals. Why don't you tell me your true agendas? Instead of constantly lying and try to cover your tracks. There's internet now, and the world is open information. You can't cover it up anymore. And your fruits have been seen, you have been measured, and you have been found rotten.